60 days ago, I didn't know if I was actually moving forward or just pretending that I was. For the last 60 days, I have actually been learning IT support, and it has not been for the aesthetic. It has not just been listening to videos and thinking that I will learn something without taking notes or actually putting anything into practice. No, this was deep dive learning. The real version, the frustrating version, the slow, confusing side of things, where half the time I couldn't even tell what I was learning if it was even needed to be learned for the CompTIA A+. There was even days where I was like, am I even learning this, or am I just clicking buttons or clicking answers that I just, I've seen multiple times as like a repetitive thing? From the outside, installing an operating system looks simple. Click, next, wait, restart, done. But when I actually did it, when I installed my first operating system inside a virtual machine, it didn't feel as simple. I remember looking at the screen and thinking, what the hell am I doing? I didn't even know what to necessarily download to do this on a virtual machine. So I was genuinely going through it for about 2 days. And there was even a point where I didn't even notice that I actually already installed it. So the whole time I'm trying to figure out what is going on when I did it. But what that actually ended up teaching me is not everything in IT support is flashy. I was expecting to see so many different things pop up as I was installing this operating system, but then when I realized that it was that simple, I was like, oh shoot. Okay, like it made me bounce back. Like, not everything has to look crazy. Even when I was messing with files and setting permissions, I thought it was gonna be something very difficult, very deep, but when I did it, it was just quite easy. But it is about understanding what's happening underneath the hood. But I technically did a clean install. I had chose to do a custom install. I watched Windows copy files install features, configure settings, but it still didn't feel enough. Not because it wasn't valid, but because I didn't yet understand why those steps mattered. I didn't touch BIOS settings. I didn't manually create partitions. I didn't think about drivers or hardware compatibility, and that's when it hit me. This isn't a failure. This is the starting point. So instead of rushing past that feeling, I decided to lean into it. That's when I started planning my help desk home lab. Not a fake lab, not something I could just say I did. This is going to be a real environment where I literally create it just like there would be help desk tickets inside of it, and I can learn, I can break things, I can do things, do it all on purpose just to fix it, just to troubleshoot it, just to configure it, then document it. Explain them like I would have to do if I were doing this for a job or for a client. Then I began to start mapping it out in my head. Multiple virtual machines, different operating systems, user accounts, permissions, networking threats, or networking issues, updates that fail, or systems that don't boot. And not because I need to know everything right now, but because I want to see it. I need to see what happens when something goes wrong so that I can actually use this experience in a job interview, because I'm basically doing exactly what I would do in a job. So when it does come to the interview, I could state these things, but then also when it does come to the job, I actually have the experience, because that's what IT actually is. It's not about knowing everything. It's about knowing how to stay calm when things stop working. And that mindset shift changed everything for me. And around the same time, I actually started studying for the CompTIA A+. And if you ever looked at the A+ objectives, you would know that this is probably going to be the longest study sessions I will ever have to try and get a certification. There were so many objectives for Core 1 and Core 2. This list is very overwhelming. You have hardware, software, operating system, security, network, troubleshooting, literally just all of that, man, and it's tough. And at first, it feels like it's too much, but slowly, piece by piece, you start to take things down. I remember when I was learning about CPUs, and I was like, whoa, how many cores have to go into that? When I had learned about CPUs, it ended up making me realize how many cores I had to schedule for the VM's virtual machine. When I had learned about RAM, I was wondering and noticing why my, virtual machine was slow. When I learned about storage, partitions, and file systems, I realized why that custom install screen actually mattered. Suddenly, the stuff I was studying wasn't abstract no more. It was right in front of me. And that was when I realized something else. I do not need to rush this. I am not behind. I am currently building something real. These last 60 days weren't about becoming an IT professional overnight. They were about building confidence. Confidence that I can sit with something I don't understand and not quit. Confidence that confusion doesn't mean failure. It means I'm early in the process. There were moments where I felt super stupid, but then there were moments where I was like, damn, I'm getting this. I had moments where I was impatient, moments where I questioned, is this even for me? But every single one of those moments taught me something. And this didn't teach me anything about IT. It actually taught me about myself. I learned that I don't need everything to feel official to make it count. I learned progress could look super boring. I learned learning feels uncomfortable, but when you're actually doing it right. And now going forward, this virtual machine is not just a virtual machine. It is a lab. It's where I'll learn how to really install operating systems, creating partitions, choosing the right options, understanding drivers. It's where I'll simulate help desk tickets. It's where I'll practice troubleshooting like someone is depending on me to fix it. And most importantly, it's where I'll keep documenting the process. Not the polished version, but the real one. Because someone out there feels exactly like how I was feeling and am feeling when I was staring at that install screen and I couldn't necessarily figure it out, especially thinking that they're not getting it when they actually were. 60 days in, I am not an expert, but I am no longer guessing. I am building momentum, I am building discipline, and this is just the beginning. I have been working very hard to go and complete the Core 2 CompTIA A+ test, and I'm still not sure when I will necessarily be taking it, but I'm putting my all into this learning process. Thank you guys so much, and if you want to continue to watch someone's journey about becoming an IT support specialist in the next couple of months, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, and if you want to see me get my CompTIA A+ along the way, definitely hit that subscribe button. I'll be catching y'all in the next one. Y'all are super goated. Deuces.